Trash and Scrap, this ship doesn't have a universal TV transmitter. I need you to go look for parts of it in different Hightower realities, and make sure to be quick, as I don't want to miss my favorite soap opera.
Hightower is one of the worst maps in TF2, but it doesn't stop people from playing it as it's pretty alright for deathmatching. I personally don't play on it that often, as back in the dark ages these servers were unplayable due to the bot crisis, and for some reason I always run into cheaters here. But despite some bad apples, it hasn't stopped people from making custom variants of this soon to be 15-year-old map. Some modified the map to look completely different, some might just take the old map and slap some new textures onto it, and while some are fairly odd, let's put it that way. This is actually part 2 to the Hightower map video I made last year. I did plan to make this earlier, but here's a picture of what happened during Christmas. But hey, better late than never. And to make this part different from the first one, I got my friend to cover some parts as speaking English is hard. Oh yeah, I also want to mention that for some parts the Frontier Justice is very shiny to the Fumo sticker mod I had earlier, so please don't type in the comments like
"That's very cheesy of you, Trash,"
as that would hurt my feelings. Now let's begin. I covered Highertower in my last video, as I would have been executed by the ship posters if I didn't include it, but they once again have a gun in my head if I don't include some version of it here. So I found this pretty cool variant called Arctic Highertower that was released on 11th of December 2018. It's based on the meme map, but it does have some differences to that version. For example, everything looks very polished. Instead of having that cliff of doom, there's an ocean that will pretty quickly kill you if you go swimming in it. It even kills you if you even slightly touch the water, as I guess instead of having water in it, it's instead sulfuric acid. The tower, while being high, seems to be shorter compared to the original one, so it should take you less time climbing it and considerably less time to fall from the top. Yeah, it's Hightower, but now it's snowy, there's water that kills you and it looks nicer. What can I really say other than it's a neat map, and I'm glad that I avoided having my CPU being splattered across the walls.
This here point's ours now.
Hightower Event City was released on the workshop on 3rd of August 2024, and it's really pretty. It's part of the map series that used to run on GFL server, which has been defunct. That Hightower cherry map that was shown in the last video is part of the series, which is pretty neat. Instead of being a rundown location in the desert, it now takes place in a Chinese city, and I do enjoy how it looks, as the place is more green. I like the neon signs, and the inclusion of Rick May statues is very nice. For the actual changes, the rocks in the middle have supplies to pick up. The tower has an entrance to a new room. There are no payloads, so it's only for deathmatching. The smaller rooms have been expanded and have a hallway that leads to the cliff side, and when you jump off from the cliff, it will send you flying, which is funny. Overall, the map is pretty, and you don't have to worry about people pushing the payload, plus making you fly to the stratosphere when you jump off from the cliff makes this map at least 2 times better than the regular variant. And hey, if you aren't too fond of playing in the dark, there's also a day variant, so you can choose what time of the day you want to be in to terrorize the server with Mini Sentries.
Kaboom! This next map is called Destructible Hightower, which was released 16th of June 2021, and you can guess what this variant's gimmick is. Yep, blowing shit up. The way this map just breaks apart the longer you play on it really sends good signals to my outdated CPU. There are other small changes, like being able to access certain spots that were behind invisible walls, but other than that, I really like this gimmick of maps breaking apart, and would be cool if more mappers did this sort of thing.
Ooh, interesting.
Lowtower Event is a city map that was released on 23rd of December 2018. It's like the opposite to Highertower, as the building doesn't go up to the skies but instead down to hell itself. The map itself is pretty confusing, as there are 3 points to capture, but no matter what I did, I could not find a way to capture them all. Maybe it's a skill issue on my part, because I am very stupid. You know, speaking of the tower, I like how the tower itself is the higher tower, but because it has collapsed, you have a semi-high tower visible while the rest is in hell. The underworld part has some changes to it, like adding a dock that leads to the lava wall. Down there is another tower which you can use to leave hell, and at the giant skull there's a control point, and behind bars is a bomb, which I don't really know the purpose for. While this map left me a bit confused, I do like the gimmick here, and especially enjoy that you can access hell more freely instead of needing to capture the card.
Gotta move that gear up!
Haytower is a player destruction variant that came out 9th of June 2020. It has this pretty nice autumn feel to it, as it takes some inspiration from Harvest, and there are even Rick-made statues, which I have to add is a really nice touch. But there's something missing from this map. It's almost like a core part of me is just gone. Oh, yeah, you can build Mini Sentries here. Now I get it, Mini Sentry engineers aren't that fun to go against, but removing such a core building from his loadout is not fair. The sign says that the jumper weapons are also banned, but here I am just using them all fine. I know, I think the map looks fine, and it being a player destruction is cool and all, but not allowing to play my main class kind of turns me off from playing this map any further. This variant is called Holetower and was published on 4th of February 2020 and doesn't even have the tower. You know, I feel like this is false advertising, as I was expecting a big ass tower, but yet there's none to be found. If I wasn't forced to explore these maps because of an asshole AI, I will be demanding a refund. But how about we look at one more level before ending this video?
Now that there was a fine piece of work.
Hightower TDM CG was published to the workshop on 25th October 2018. I'm sure it should be familiar, as this has been shown in different YouTuber videos and has trolled your heaven. For starters, you got these boost pads that send you to the tower, which has been spinning a bit as well. You can then access the roofs, as the invisible walls have been removed, which honestly makes it so much fun to just move around the level. The roofs also have vents that launch you up. The central tower has 2 supply pack locations, which one leads you to a small vent, and then takes you to tower corridors. The cars look different, but you can't push them. Spawns have the Haytower exit, the cliff house's windows, and small medkits, and there are moving platforms that take you across the canyon. It feels weird how you're able to explore this area, as it's normally inaccessible, but to be honest, there isn't much there except the big Keck sign. If Valve ever gave the permission to add new and improved versions of these classic maps to casual, this level should be there, as it would be more dynamic to play in due to it having less invisible walls, and I personally will enjoy playing this more.
And that's all for today. While Hightower is not my favorite map in the game, I do appreciate the different variants of it, as they were really unique and fun to explore, except maybe Haytower, just because I am bitter about the removal of Sentry. But jokes aside, if you're a map maker, just keep making these levels as they're really fun to cover. Now I want to thank Mel from Melissa for giving her voice for Scrap-Noid 5000. I have for the longest time wanted to have Kit appear in my channel, and finally having her appear here makes me so happy. I would recommend checking out my previous video where I talk about Panic Attack, as I put a lot of time and effort into it, especially with the Gmod animation part, so if you go take a look at it, it will mean a lot to me. So like the video if you enjoyed it, comment down below your own favorite maps from today, subscribe for more TF2 content, and have a nice day.
Great job. I knew you two could do it. Now shove that thing in and I can watch my show.
Mama,
Oh damn, how do you change channels with this thing?
I'm going to kill myself!
There we go. I guess you both can watch the show with me while we look for our next destination.